Hey folks, what's up, EAT? So, I'm gonna do some bifacing. I just shot a material update, talked about all the stuff I was cutting in the saw, and now my saw's not working. The split, it's got a brass split. The other day, and John had warned me about this before, I had a little nipple hanging down on a piece of rock, and it caught on the plate that goes where the blade goes on, and I thought everything was okay. I thought I caught it in time, but apparently I did not, and it just now give up. So I got to order some parts. Should be a relatively easy fix, but I need to call and talk to them on Monday to make sure I'm getting what I need. So I'm sure to be the end of next week before I'm back to cutting rock again, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is. I got a piece of, this is a piece of Burlington, treated Burlington, that I got from Jim Redfern at I guess it's Sac River. Is it Sac River? His napping up there. Jim has excellent Burlington. Look at that, just beautiful. This end has got, this kind of grainy at this end. It's not so great. I may actually just get rid of this end here, because this is the premium rock down here. It's unfortunate. I mean, it's napping through it, but it's got this seam running through there. You can see where it's separated right there. That's just going to be heartbreak waiting to happen, so we'll get rid of that. This is just some of my personal rock. When I was delivering ibex here a few weeks ago, whenever the nap-in was, it just so happened that I was coming through that area when the nap-in was going on. I've never actually been to that nap-in, and I don't know if you can count me stopping by for the for an afternoon as going to the nap-in or not. Not really time to experience it, but yeah, that's a pretty piece of rock right there. Anyways, my buddy Keith was there, and I was going to pick up picking up 7 buckets of Kia Cook from him that he was having me heat treat, and visited with some other people, got to see Jim and whatever, Lynn, all those guys. There's one biface. Now this rock was gifted to me. This is a piece of hornstone, and super nice hornstone, and this was gifted to me at that same nap-in from Eric, from Eric's Rocks. When he found out I wasn't going to be able to stick around, he said, well, I'm going to give you this so you don't go home empty-handed. And I really appreciate it. That was really nice of him. And Eric with Eric's Rocks, find him on Facebook. He has more of this hornstone. It's some of the best hornstone out there right now, and it's really nice. So I'm not sure if Eric's actually a flint napper or not. Maybe he is, but he knows flint napping rock. He's been selling rock a whole lot longer than I have. Most of you are probably familiar with Eric, but he's another rock dealer. And I'm pretty sure I think this was all self-collected, I believe. But he has more of this, so if you're interested in some of this hornstone, that's a nice flake. You get an arrowhead out of that. Got rid of my flake bucket because I was working through all that material, making up boxes and stuff, and I've moved everything, and I got rid of that flake bucket. Let's see here. Look at this Cortex. Yeah, that's pretty nice, and it's pretty good size material too. A lot of the hornstone that's been available lately has been really small. If you ever bought much hornstone, you know that it can be pretty hit and miss. There's a few guys out there that's always got good stuff. Alright, I'm gonna try and hit this right here, down on this. There's a flake picking up. Yeah, so that's a bummer about the saw, but it's always something. The good news is it looks like I'm going to be getting, well, I'm going to be fixing this 18-inch saw. I'll be starting on it here before long. I have started to turn down work in the leather shop. Yeah, it's hard for me to do, but I have, which is probably a bad idea now that my saws broke down. Anyway, they're another Bifacing. And another piece of Burlington. You ever see Jim at a nap in? Get him up about his Burlington, because he's got some really nice stuff. I mean, really nice. Yeah, so that's going to give me more time in the rock shop, so, which I need, so. This stuff is so pretty and so slick. My wife's down grocery shopping today. Our daughter and grandbabies and son-in-laws all coming over. We're gonna have dinner tonight, and then everyone's coming over tomorrow for Sunday dinner. So everyone should be here tomorrow. Everyone who's in town, anyways. Our son works off, so he was just in town for a week. And my other sister, who's been in Alaska for the last 9+ weeks, doing a long hitch up on the slope. Normally they work 3 on 3 off up on the slope, but they were doing a long hitch this time. Try and take one down this way. I was trying to cheat that, but it didn't want me to. I was trying to do that right there. I probably should have ran that one through the saw and split it up, and would have made 2 good sized bifaces out of it. But yeah, so right now I got 2 broken saws. But I don't know if I finished saying this, but looks like I may be getting another saw next month, possibly. I really need another saw working, so I need at least 2 saws working all the time. Would be best if I'm going to make a go at this. But, oops, bumped the camera, sorry about that. This is a piece of landscape rock. Came from the hospital where both my grandsons were born. See if we can make anything out of it. These are not easy to work at all. This one's not as slick as some of them. Some of that material in that landscaping up there is really nice. It's got a fracture in there, that's why that's not wanting to turn loose. trying to figure out how I can get that off there. Yeah, see, that fracture went all the way in there. I think that's the end of it there, though. Maybe. Oop, just busted it. I don't think we'll mess with that one. There's a piece of Keokuk who's halfway in a biface already. Look at that right there, just pretty. I actually bought this off Jim's tarp also, just because I liked it. At the time I was thinking, you know, I got like 2,000 pounds of Keokuk sitting at home, and here I am buying Keokuk off the tarp. Crazy. But if you see a pretty piece of rock catches your eye, you know. Wow. Nice and slick. Lots of good Keokuk coming out of the pit here lately. I think there's more silica in the stuff that's been coming out here recently. Traveling past halfway. You really want all your flakes to travel halfways or further. Not always. I mean, there's plenty of reason to take short flakes. You don't want them all when you're trying to build convexity or you're trimming or whatever, but if you're thinning, if you're not getting halfways or further, then you're not actually thinning. You're just making a big island in the middle. And they're bifacing. Oh, I just keep hitting that with my head, don't I? Here's a piece of Georgetown. It was an end cut, or a cut anyways. It was in with some stuff that got a little hot. We'll see if it's alright or not, if I can get it into a biface and still have anything left to it. Usually something this thick, which is probably almost an inch, I would think. I don't have my tape measure here, of course, otherwise I'd measure it. It's every bit 3/4, maybe an inch. It was just whatever was left over in the cutting. I was out here in the shop till about midnight last night. It was a long day. Started about 7 and finished about midnight. I finally got in bed about 1. I haven't been doing a lot today. I shot another video that I just released on the material update, and I was cutting rock like crazy, and then my saw just quit on me. My own fault, but early next year, or I prefer by the end of this year, I'd like to have, well, I got 2 saws in here already, but one of them needs, actually both of them need repair now, so. But I'd like to have 3 saws. Doesn't necessarily mean they'll all be running all at the same time, but I'd like to have that option. And then if something goes wrong, then I've got backups. So they don't last forever. They don't last forever, and the parts ain't cheap either. They're not terrible, but they're not great either. I don't know if I'll skim this whole surface or not, but yeah, that'll make a nice big blade. That'll make a nice blade. Let's do something different. So I got a piece of basalt here. Never actually knapped basalt. I did knock off a couple flakes off here. I got this from Craig Gratz when I was up there visiting with him. And heck, I might need my hammer. Let's get the hammer out. See if we can take some. There's a spall. take one across this way. Ooh, I bet that was a bad spot. Yep, there it is. That was a bad spot in the rock. I guess. Well, I really didn't know that was bad, but it was. So that'll leave us with that, the biface. Not sure what I'm going to do with this. I just never napped a piece of it, and it's breaking out kind of funny. It's probably typical for basalt. There's another spall. I seen a professor in Hawaii. I think he's a professor. Is in Hawaii, and they got basalt in Hawaii. I guess they got some really good basalt. But the basalt he had on video there, like he was napping like obsidian. Yeah, there's some issues there. Yeah, see that right there? You couldn't have known that looking at the rock. That's probably going to come apart there too. I don't know. Yeah, you could have never known that. That's part of buying rock. That's not always the case, but yeah, that's an island. Got this in it, which that probably goes down through it. I don't know what we're going to end up with here. And I don't know if that's typical for basalt or if I'm just lucky and picked the piece with special needs or what. That's typical for me. If I go to the store and let's say we need a new coffee pot, I cannot pick the coffee pot out, because if I pick the coffee pot out, guaranteed that thing's going to either have missing parts from the beginning or break down or catch the house on fire within a month. That's just my luck picking things out. Yeah, that runs down in there. I'm not sure what to even do with this. If it didn't have all that bad stuff in it, I think it'd be going pretty well, but things being what they are at the moment here, I mean, it's flaking pretty nice. I just got all this junk. Okay, making headway there. ridge. It runs into some junk here, but yeah, we're into some junk and just gotta stop there. There we go. I'll tell you, it's sharp. I showed you all this stuff I got to Biface here. I'm hoping to percussion nap a point on video today, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. We just keep running into this stuff. If it wasn't for that, that's a crystal pocket or something in there. Something like that. Alright, we'll leave it at that. It still looks like it may have some other stuff in there, so I'm not sure how thin we're going to get this. I want to make some Alaska artifacts. A lot of Alaska artifacts are made out of basalt. We got some pieces here now to do that with. Here's a Buffalo River slab. Looks like at some point I've nibbled around the edge of it. That saw's been running non-stop for, oh doggone it, for days. That upper piece of material there wasn't that great. You guys can probably see that on camera. It was kind of grainy. I guess why my saw broke down, that'll force me to get my stuff done in the leather shop, for sure. I had some stuff I wanted to talk to y'all about, or tell you about. And can't even remember what that was for the life of me now. I had a list of stuff that I thought, well, I should talk about that, or talk about this, or something else. And thinking about playing around some more with my solid copper boppers. like to learn how to use them better. I just can't get the same flakes with a solid copper as I can with my lead field, but that's not surprising, I guess. Because I haven't used these a lot, so, but I've been trying to use them more and more and more. Plenty of guys out there that use the solid copper all the way through on their percussion. I'd like to learn to do the same. Not that I'm going to use those all the time, but there's a chunk of Kia Cook. Let's see here. Try and take a flake across here. Well, didn't quite go the way I wanted it to, but that's a nappable flake anyhow. Alright, so by hitting down here, we brought this up. Maybe instead of the hammer. See, I don't have a lot of experience with these, so I don't know which one of these I should use and not use. I'll blew that up. It's a little grainy on this right here. It's kind of a grainy piece. It's slick on part of it and grainy on that, so which is why it ended up over in here and not in the for sale bucket, because it had some issues. I got a bunch of Novaculite there that's big slabs, but they're in cuts. Yeah, that's pretty grainy right there. Grainy and hard as woodpecker lips. That was an interesting piece, but I don't think it's going to make much. Might be difficult to get it thin because it's grainy. Unless I can get underneath some of that graininess, because it's slicker on this other side. We've got this platform here and one right there. Come across this one. That left us a ridge right here. and one off to the side over here. So that's too heavy. I shouldn't hit it with that one. Yeah, it's flaking much nicer off this side. That side just crushing away. Problem rock. You run into things like that, I mean, the only thing you can do is just keep working the questionable material away. Try and favor the better side. It's amazing how much a 1/4 inch or in the thickness of a rock can make such a big difference in the quality from one side of the biface to the other. Dry stuff in there. I think if I keep taking flakes off this side though, we're gonna, yeah, we should be good. That's a good one. Alright. Here's a piece of, it's got this big thing in here. I don't know what all is gonna come out of this, but this is an end cut, obviously. It's probably got a crack in there. This Flint River, I think, is some of the most beautiful material out there. And I just like it because it looks old. From the beginning, it just really looks old. The other material that's like that is Rainy Buttes. Two of my favorite materials for that. I've said before, Rainy Buttes may be my favorite material, but I don't know. There is better napping material like Burlington or, you know, heat treated Georgetown. I mean, there are a lot of materials out there that probably nap easier than this Flint River, but it just has so much character to it that you just can't help but like it. But it is notorious for its lime deposits, these holes. I mean, usually the prettier the material, the more things you're going to have to deal with. You're buying stuff from a rock dealer. Generally, you usually don't know the all the pains that they went through to bring you the rock that you're getting. Sorting and culling out the bad stuff, or, you know, doing the best you can doing that. That'll make a nice arrowhead. For sure. Alright, let's do one more or two more, something like that. We've already done a bunch of Burlington. Let's do, well, that one's almost pretty much done. Hold on just 1 second. Okay. There's a piece of Nova. It's got some issues in here, so I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. Look at that rainbowy color. I don't know how well that shows up on the camera there, but in person, it's the camera kind of distorts the color some, I think. But yeah, it's got some layering in it. This isn't any good here. Pretty stuff though. I believe the Parker quarry now is leased out to gravel company, whatever, and I think they're just blowing it up with dynamite and putting all that beautiful stone into asphalt or whatever it is that they're doing. Road base. Yeah, it's got some issues. That's why those aren't doing anything. So it'd be a bummer if I can't get underneath that. We'll see. All right, I think we're getting underneath it now. Kind of come over to it. I was trying to knock that hinge off there. There, we got it. That's close enough. Yep, very nice. Okay, well, I'm going to count them up. We're almost at an hour, so we'll count them up and see how many we did. Let's see here. should set those beside me or turn this camera off for a second. I guess we got a few. Okay. What do we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10. I think on average, if I'm just getting after it, I usually average about, I don't know, 15 to 20 an hour, maybe, something like that. But BSing and all that kind of stuff don't get that far, but pretty nice stuff. Zoom out here a little bit. Oh, wrong direction. Still the wrong direction. There we go. All right, there they are, including our basalt, and we got some other flakes and stuff off of that we'll be able to use. But I might try and nap this on camera. It could be a disaster, but we'll see, because I've never napped this before. I don't know about how thin you can get this stuff or any of that stuff. I don't know. We'll find out though. It's unfortunate it had this stuff in it, but that may be typical for basalt. I don't really know, or I just might have got lucky and picked the bad piece. It actually looks like it could have another layer right there, maybe. So we'll see. Either way, pretty nice. Those are probably my favorites right there, and this beautiful piece of hornstone that came from Eric's Rocks. You guys check him out if you want some good hornstone. He's got some. I'm sure he probably, hopefully, maybe he still has some. I don't know, but Eric's Rocks for that. But I appreciate y'all watching, and don't forget about them boxes I got, the flake boxes. If you're new or old, I mean, those flake boxes, they got nice flakes in there. I mean, they'll produce anywhere from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-inch pieces, and you can come on in. My wife just walked in. But we're wrapping up here. We're done. So I appreciate y'all watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Keep napping.